Add just a pop of color to your tank or cover up your entire aquascape. Zoanthid gardens are perfect for a nano tank because number one, they come in almost every color imaginable. Number two, they can grow really quickly. And number three, as long as you stay away from certain designer models, they can be really affordable. So let's jump right in and we're going to show you how to build a Zoa garden. We can't discuss zoanthids without a palytoxin warning. Palytoxin is an extremely dangerous poison that can live within the soft tissues of zoanthids. Although more associated with polythoas, certain zoanthids can also contain palytoxin. Palytoxin is no joke, as it can actually kill a human being. It becomes dangerous to humans when it somehow becomes airborne, usually through trying to scrub your rock, boiling live rock, or fragging zoanthids and polythoas. But all of that being said, zoanthids pose very little to zero danger to humans when just living and growing inside your saltwater aquarium. Still, I would always wear gloves, goggles, and a face mask every time you're handling zoanthids. There are hundreds of species of zoanthids out there, and they come in every color imaginable, and some you might not even be able to imagine. But they vary somewhat wildly in their polyp size and rate of growth. The vast majority of zoanthids featured in today's video come from worldwide corals who specialize in some really crazy color combinations. And on top of that, zoanthids are a really perfect beginner coral because they can survive in a wide variety of parameters, flow patterns, and lighting conditions. They can be grown in low to high light, but I usually shoot for that large polyp stony range, somewhere between 75 and 125 par. While photosynthetic, they can definitely benefit from weekly feeding with some sort of finely ground up coral food. Other than that, all they need is low to medium indirect flow and stable water conditions. For sand, we're sticking with the Carib Sea Special Grade. It's the perfect balance of grain size that is large enough to not blow around, but small enough to not create a detritus trap. For reef rock, we went with a few pre-cycled pieces of Carib Sea life rock. Here's the thing about our aquascape. I have never seen a hobbyist create only a Zoa garden in their tank with nothing else, but that's exactly what we've done here. Usually a Zoa garden is a small portion of your tank, or you create some sort of Zoa garden on an island. I personally think zoanthids look their absolute best when paired in a tank with other sized and textured corals. All that being said, we chose to make one large zoanthid island with a few smaller islands to really showcase the variety. But if you want to add in some other larger, maybe soft corals, something like a toadstool or a finger leather coral, you could probably get a lot more depth in the tank and also utilize the vertical space a lot better than just a Zoa garden. To adapt the IM14 to a Zoa garden, we really didn't have to make any special gear changes. We did remove the flared nozzle and replaced it with a VCA random flow generator nozzle, as that helped decrease the amount of flow and added some variability in the tank. We're using the AI Prime 16 HD with the 12-inch flex arm. We always adjust the spectrum of our AI lights using the built-in Kelvin scale. On this tank, a maximum intensity of 40% with 12,000 Kelvin really felt perfect for me. Not overly blue, but blue enough to make a lot of those fluorescent colors pop. Feel free to make adjustments either more or less blue depending on your own visual preferences, but be aware that any adjustment you make could also change the amount of par in the tank, so it'll be a good idea to use a par meter and adjust the intensity accordingly. Since I work from home, I like to view my corals during the daytime. Sunrise starts at 7 a.m. and it slowly ramps up to a full intensity of 40% with 12,000 Kelvin at 11 a.m. My max photo period lasts from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. and then slowly ramps down to complete dark at 8 p.m. A Zoa garden tank is great for a wide variety of small fish and inverts, but I just added a pair of premium black ice Ocellaris clownfish to give it a pop of color. Moving on to Zoas, I can't tell you any of the names of the Zoas in this tank, but I asked Worldwide Corals to send me a selection, a good mix of colors, but nothing considered collectored, high-end, or really expensive. All of my zoas have been dipped and in the water box quarantine tank for about 2 to 3 months. For some reason, Aiptasia love to hide amongst zoanthids, and rather than using a product something like Aiptasia to go in there and individually kill those Aiptasia, I'd really recommend considering a more natural approach. If you have a larger system than this tank back here, you could get an Aiptasia eating filefish, or maybe consider using a peppermint shrimp, or as a last resort, a Bergia nudibranch. The problem I have found with using something like F. aiptasia is it's almost impossible to just kill the Aiptasia. Every time I use F. aiptasia, even when I'm being really careful, it seems to kill several heads of zoanthids in the immediate area, which is really frustrating. Here's just a few tips to creating a zoanthid garden. Number 1, to really make the colors pop, use a color wheel. Complementary colors are those colors found on the opposite side of the color wheel. For example, red and green, orange and blue, and yellow and purple. By putting complementary colors together, it will make the colors seem brighter. Number 2, give the zoas space to grow. Given the right conditions, zoanthids can grow really quickly. So spacing out your zoanthids will allow them to fill up the rock over a period of 2 to 3 months. Tip number 3, remove zoanthids from frag plugs. I find nothing as unpleasant as staring at a frag plug instead of the beautiful zoanthid on top of it. So I would just recommend using some bone cutters to remove as much of the frag plug as possible. And if you find this super challenging because they're mounted on ceramic plugs, consider purchasing aragonite-based plugs in the future, as they are way easier to chip away with bone cutters. And the 4th tip is use extra thick super glue. It's really easy to attach zoas to a rock via their frag plug using a small amount of extra thick super glue. The beautiful thing about zoanthids is they are really easy to care for. Keep up on your usual maintenance and then just sit back and watch your zoas grow and fill in the rock. Over time, you can frag your zoas and trade them with a friend to build up your own zoadex. If you love zoanthids, you will likely love our next IM14 build: sea fans, macroalgae, and sponges. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. The link to the entire Innovative Marine playlist is right here. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching. Happy reefing, be well. We'll see you next time.